Hey, Jarrett Bishop here. So if you've been following Nelson's update notes for the past few weeks, you've probably noticed that there's been active development for Unturned 4.0. While this is awesome news, so far we don't really know too much about the editor. Assuming there's a new map editor, here's 10 random but useful features I think should be added. First thing I'd like is quick level testing. Back in September 2016, Nelson tweeted this image as a teaser for the in-game buildables editor. At first, I thought it referred to quick level testing, but I think this would be a great feature to quickly test maps from a first-person point of view, rather than like heading back to the main menu and loading in single player, all that jazz. A small suggestion, but I think it would be super useful. Second thing is specific numbers used for placing and moving objects. If you've ever tried to specifically move a very large object in the editor, you've probably found some limitations. It's quite difficult to line up objects perfectly unless you use the snap transform option, but even then it's time consuming and often isn't perfect. Most map editors nowadays use numbers in snapping to line up objects. A perfect example of this is the Sword with Sauce map editor. It uses numbers and a global grid system for lining up objects and blocks, and I think it works great. This would be super useful, especially for Unturned's simple, blocky art style. Next suggestion is a built-in note creator. I love the fact that you can create notes for custom maps, but it's such a pain to go through the files and create a folder, 2 text files, its own GUID, mainly type in how many lines it has and everything else. I think it'd be great to just place down a note object, type in the note, and you're done. My fourth suggestion is an object color picker. The object panel is cluttered with several colors for an object. Like, why are there 9 book objects when you could just have one? Just have a little drop-down menu, choose what color you want. While we're at it, why not have different colors for every object? I'd love to see some white parking lines, or a green vending machine, or how about some red bollards, you know? Nelson could even add a hue slider so you could have any color you want. Anyways, colors, get on it. Fifth idea is a simple autosave option. It sucks when you work on like a map for 30 minutes, but then you accidentally Alt F4 or something, maybe your power went out, it doesn't save. I've lost a bit of work from forgetting to save, and it really sucks. I would definitely use an autosave option if it was there. Just have it toggleable, of course. Sixth thing is a system of linking triggers to do stuff. This might be kind of hard to explain, so sorry if this makes no sense. An example would be using node that activates when you're in a certain area. This could maybe teleport you to a different part of a map, give you a gun, set you on fire, etc. A proper good implementation of a system like this could massively expand potential for adventure maps, new game modes, and a bunch of other exciting things. It's like the node system in 3.0, except it's like actually useful. My seventh idea is location-based atmospheric effects. I think there should be an option to have certain parts of the map have weather and air differences. You could have a city become really foggy sometimes, maybe have an ocean part of the map rain more than a desert part, stuff like that. It seems really simple, and I'm almost surprised you currently can't do this. My eighth suggestion is simple building blocks to make stuff with. Some neat little cubes you can place down and scale would be super useful for custom buildings, little objects, neat architecture, and stuff like that. Simple characters would also be useful, things like letters, numbers, plus, minus, and comma, whatever, stuff like that. This suggestion isn't particularly necessary, but I think it'd be a hell of a lot better than using books. Maybe you could even use the color selector to change what material it is. My next suggestion is a tree brush. Instead of placing down trees individually, you could smear a brush for mass tree planting. It works great in City Skylines, so I figure it would work in Unturned. Yeah, you can just do baked trees, and it would automatically place trees, but a brush would be super useful for like dense forests and such, especially with the density option. Last but not least is an infinite Skybox terrain option. My idea is that you could have an option to have a terrain, like an ocean, continue off the map indefinitely. A straight drop off into the void isn't very realistic or visually attractive, especially for a large ocean view. I like the way GTA 5 does it. There's an infinite stretch of ocean that never ends, as far as I know. I think it'd make it feel less like a map and more like a real place. Well, that concludes my top 10 ideas list for the Unturned 4.0 editor. I'm kind of curious to see how many suggestions there are added. Probably not any of them, but hey, that's fine. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to check out my channel. It's pretty much all about the Unturned map editor, so if that's your thing, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day, I guess.